Hey, it's Mike Draper with AWC TV, and we're really excited today. We've got Derreck Smallwood on with us today. He is the co-founder and COO of SendJim, and a really, really sharp guy. If you get a chance to talk to him at any of the events or anything out there, make sure you do so. I always like to think if you will keep your mouth shut and your ears wide open, you're probably going to learn something if you're talking to Derreck. But Derreck, thank you for being on board with us today. We really appreciate you coming on, and welcome.
Well, thank you so much, Michael. It's an honor to be here on your show today, and looking forward to helping out your audience as much as possible in regards to finding unique strategies that they can apply today in their marketing campaigns to penetrate a deeper level of understanding of their prospects and how they can reach them.
Yeah, very good. So all the hype out there, SendJim, Radius Bomb, all of that, you guys have done a wonderful job of that. It's an awesome product. I've had a chance to use it myself and a couple of our small little businesses as well. But let's focus in just 1 second here for a guy that's out there, a smaller operator, maybe doesn't have a big advertising budget, and basically kind of the way this process works is he spends money, he spends advertising dollars, however he's doing it. If he's throwing paper flyers on lawns or whatever he's doing, he's getting a customer. So he's acquired a customer in maybe one of these high-end neighborhoods, and that's really his dream account. He wants it, and he gets there, and as he's noticing, he's looking around, he's thinking, you know what? All the neighbors around are also my potential customers. How is it that SendJim or Radius Bomb can help him acquire those customers around that house?
Absolutely, Michael. And I think before I get to that part of the answer, because it's almost a two-part answer, the first step would be to make sure that when you have a fulfillment process for when those customers actually are calling, that you're able to achieve that. And then along with that is that you have a great strategy for penetrating those neighborhoods that are high-end in the first place. And what I mean by is if you had 1,000 cards to send, you wouldn't want to send those to 1,000 people individually. You'd want to split that up into several touches to the same neighborhood. I usually recommend to SendJim customers that when they ask me this, that they send a series of at least 3 cards, because it's a lot like Facebook ads where you're growing your brand awareness and you want to stay in front of the customer enough that you have a lot more authority, trust, and like factor than the other competition. And I think once you achieve that, then you're ready to go to phase 2, which answers your question about the neighbors. We recently added a feature called neighbor mailings, and this would allow you to select how many neighbors around that particular customer you wanted to mail to. And one great strategy that we've been having a lot of our users find success with is simply saying, hey, we were just out in your neighborhood, we serviced John's house, and we'd love to come give you a quote as well, or whatever the offer would be, whether it's your super sexy offer, whether it's a discount of some sort, or maybe some sort of cheat sheet that they can get access to online to where you can collect an opt-in. Or if you're going to go the phone call route, maybe you don't use phone numbers and you use lead magnets instead, where they can just text a certain series of like 5 digits to receive something. And that way there's not a huge upfront commitment for them to talk to you on the phone, and that they can take action and help you, help basically if you just listen to the customer, then you can find that value that they're needing to be filled, and they've already sold themselves. So if you have a good strategy in place like that, where you're prospecting on the front end, and then you're also fulfilling those at a high level whenever they do call, and then you're letting them know that you've serviced those neighbors, then I think that's a great strategy. And one additional thing that you could add into that is, before you actually go into that neighborhood to service that customer, would be to mail the neighbors of those customers with that feature, the neighbor mailing feature of our software, and just let them know, hey, we're going to be in the area in the next few days. Let us know if you'd like to have us over to your house too. We can give you 20% off or something like that, right? So if you have us over while we're there already, you're getting a deal. And so sometimes those things work really good.
Yeah, I'm going to back you up just a minute because you said something really crucial there. Let's say we're trying to get that and acquire that customer for the first time anyway. Now, so a guy, he might run off. Maybe he's got a budget for 10,000 cards that he wants to mail out. Now, you made a great point. So you wouldn't look at 10,000 individual households with that budget. You would probably be better served to look at 10,000 or maybe even 7,500 homes, and then you'd mail them 3 times so that they're getting the message 3 different times. You're touching them 3 different times, which we know in advertising it takes about three to 5 times somewhere in there before you get somebody to move to action anyway.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And that would be, you would target 3,333 homes. You would send your 10,000 cards, and with our current rate of fees for those 10,000 cards, you'd be going to spend about 6,900. And just so you know, a little bit of return on that, if you did that strategy and you had a really good branded card sequence that made a lot of sense to the customer, it wasn't overwhelming with lots of data on that, you can expect anywhere, let's see, let me just do a quick little thing here, times 333 times, I have like a sheet here. You would have like 99 customers, and let's just say your average ticket is around $345 for that same amount. We'll just call it 100 customers, just for the sake of making things easy. You're talking $30,000 return on your investment, you know, for those jobs, that sequence that you sent in the first place. If that was a realistic strategy that one could afford the budget for, then
Right.
you would have good results. And the reason I say that, just to kind of let you know those percentages, typically EDDM results, I'm friends with people that send 40,000 cards a month and up, and they're getting like 0.08%, but it's still profitable. And they use that, but the problem is it's not ultra high targeted, because they are having to get on the route that often has like that trailer park that you don't want to go do business with, or maybe it has that neighborhood right next to the rich people in the gated community that is preventing, you know, they're on that list as well. And so it's not ultra targeted. So those response rates are a lot lower. Whereas a targeted sequence of mailings with the exact person you want to do business with is going to result with a lot higher return. And so we're seeing a 1 to 3% return on a targeted mailing like that. That's got a lot of thought into it. I mean, this is not just something you would not think about much, but with Radius Bomb, that's another one of our tools. You can circle these neighborhoods precisely and send them that sequence of cards. And oftentimes I recommend that they add something personable to the card for that neighborhood. So maybe it's a street sign, or maybe it's a photo of you know, like the front entrance of the gate or something of that nature that's been designed onto the card. We have new features on the roadmap that's going to allow you to take the photo and add it to that Radius Bomb coming up in the next few weeks, and that'll make that whole strategy a lot easier. But yeah, so I think that kind of answers that.
Yeah. The main difference in from what I understand, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that EDDM, it's very much like shooting a shotgun at a target, right? You're just going to fire a bunch of stuff out there. You're hoping that it hits something, and you're hoping that it returns back. Whereas Radius Bomb, the tool that's inside of SendJim, it's kind of like you've seen these YouTube videos where there's a drone flying over and it shoots a red dot down on the house, and then another missile comes in from somewhere else and just targets that particular house. And that's how precise this Radius Bomb thing can be. So you're not wasting money on useless homes.
Yeah, and not to be confused with that movie War Games, where everything went crazy with the laser missile. But the Radius Bomb feature is a one-off solution that doesn't exist anywhere that I'm aware of, that allows you to be super targeted. You can draw polygons, circles, and squares to do your targeting. And you can do things like, if you're a pool cleaning company, you can circle the homes that have pools. I mean, you can visibly see the pools on the map. If you only had 20 houses that you're targeting that all had pools, you're significantly raising the response, that response rate, because you're only talking to the person that's absolutely the ideal customer. And you do the same thing with online advertising and digital marketing. You do all the research and do behavioral interest and demographic data research. So it makes sense that with direct mail, which is more analog and not digital as much, that you have this digital component to it that allows you to be ultra high targeted. So as we continue to grow our company and we continue to add really awesome features like that, I think a lot of our users are going to be impressed with some of the things that they can do, such as saving audiences and building stuff out like they can even on a digital marketing platform with their direct mail. So those things are exciting.
Yeah, it is. And you guys are always changing and making things better. And so I know all the current users probably appreciate that very much. And the new users that are out there that can come on board, they're going to benefit from it. So if you haven't had a chance, check out SendJim. We're going to put a link down in this video so that you can link right to it, so that you can check it out. They've always got attractive offers to be able to come in and to be able to get some different credits or something like that. So we really encourage all of our listeners and viewers as well to make sure that they check that out. Derreck, I know you're a busy guy. I appreciate you coming on board with us and just telling us a little bit about it. We look forward to working with you in the future as well. But thank you very much. And all you viewers at home, make sure you check out SendJim and Radius Bomb. Stay tuned for our next episode of AWC TV by following us on YouTube, Facebook, or our website, awcmag.com.